might be worth to go through.
Okay, so Geoff has the now Flavour of the Month Defenders, triple defender list. So first of all, he has 2 Glaive Squadron pilots. These are the high pilot skill generic, so pilot skill 6 and elite pilot talent slot, and they both have crack shots. A very popular new EPT hanging around these days, crack shot, isn't it?
It is. I was going to say as well, it's not very often we get to see, well, a generic at the very least up at pilot skill 6.
Indeed.
And it's without any like veteran instincts or adaptability as well.
The only other generics that come in at that point of level, at that pilot skill, are the interceptors, the Royal Guard TIE interceptors.
Of course, my apologies. I forgot about that one. As I was saying earlier, I don't normally play the Imperial stuff, so it's
so highest level generics that you can get. So very good. Crack shot, obviously very good for punching through stacked defences or just causing extra damage. And these guys both have the TIE X7 title.
Yep. So we've seen that before. That's That's the one that it's the double shot, or is that
no?
It's the movement one. Sorry,
is if you move at speed 3, 4, or 5, you get assigned an evade token. Don't even have to do an action; you just do it.
Yeah, it's nice to have things that work on. You just get this. It's like with Dutch Vander, one of my beloved Y-wing pilots. When Dutch acquires a target lock. Another friendly ship within range, I think it's 1 to 2, can also acquire, and that is a key word here, acquire, because it means that that even if a ship is stressed, it still gets to get that target lock for effectively nothing.
Absolutely, the same applies to the defenders here. Even those defenders happen to be stressed, or go over an asteroid or something along those lines, they still get that evade token, so they're really hard to punch through. And then to fill out the list, at one more point, we have Colonel Vessery, also in the TIE Defender. So crack shot, again, same X7 title. And again, we saw him before. He's exactly the same pilot skill, so 3 pilot skill 6 ships. Also aligns very nicely for manoeuvring. Vessery, of course, is the one where if someone else has a target lock on his target, he can acquire a target lock immediately after he rolls the dice for the first time. So it can really cause some extra damage with those target locks. A nice simple list, all the same pilot skill. And of course, it benefits from the defender's very good stats, that free evade token every time round.
I always say, with the defenders, you could probably know their stats even if you were drunk. They're all 3s across the board unless you put stealth device on there. So it's got 3 attack, 3 evades, 3 hull, 3 shields.
Absolutely.
I know it's a weird analogy to use there, but that's something I've always said. So I'm going to stick with that.
And in this case, even the same pilot skill all the way throughout. And that has real advantages when it comes to moving, because you can move any of them in any order and shoot with any of them in any order as well.
Yeah, that's something I love to do as well. Especially when you have the option to do that.
Absolutely. So that is Geoff Ball's list, and Geoff is on the right hand side here.
Yes.
Absolutely. And excuse me. On the flip side, we have Michael Magg. So Michael is also flying Empire, so we've got an Imperial Civil War going on here by the looks of it.
Yep.
Now Michael has a 4-ship list rather than 3, but he also includes some of the new goodies from the Imperial veterans. In this case, bombers. And bombers got lots of different options here. So, but he's also got 2 arc-dodging H's. So Michael has Barons of the Empire, 2 of them. This is the TIE Advanced prototypes. They come in at pilot skill 4 with an elite pilot talent. That elite pilot talent is Push the Limit. Worth noting with the Baron that Push the Limit isn't an auto-include as a ship with a hard green turn and boost and barrel roll.
I know, it's incredible, especially a ship so manoeuvrable as that. You would have thought they'd have pushed them on there for days. But...
Exactly, but there are options. In this case, Michael's gone for them, but the reason that there's sometimes another option is because they also have the TIE V1 title. And what this says, if you acquire a target lock on an opponent, you automatically also acquire an evade. Okay, so in this case, Michael is going to be wanting to evade as much as he can. And then, worth noting as well, he's uppowered them a little bit more. Now, interestingly, these guys have boost, but they don't have auto thrusters. Instead, they have TIE Mark II ion engines.
Now their banks are green.
Yeah, which gives him a lot more in the way of options with regards to his manoeuvre. The TIE Advanced prototype is great for manoeuvrability because it has green hard-won turns. But sometimes those green hard-won turns don't take you far enough.
No.
And those banks might come in handy for him. In this case, he's lucky. He hasn't come up against lists with turrets. The loss of auto thrusters might add a little bit of range 3, but once he gets up into knife fighting range, that's not going to be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
And in particular, he really wants to get to knife fighting range because these guys also have proton rockets. Range 1 only, but you need a focus to fire them, although you don't spend the focus, you can use the focus for their attack. 5 dice attack. 2 dice base plus 3 for their agility, unless they get their agility knocked down, which does happen occasionally.
It does happen, yeah.
But generally speaking, a 5 dice attack at range 1. And I would say that Geoff is going to have to be very, very careful not to let himself get caught at range 1 because that is going to hurt.
That's very
Okay. And then, second up, we have 2 TIE bombers on Michael's list as well. So these are Gamma Squadron pilots, which is the pilot skill 4. So interesting, Michael also has an identical pilot skill list, although at 4s rather than 6s. These TIE bombers have plasma torpedoes, cheapest 4 attack dice munition around.
Oh, so good.
Extra munition so he can fire them twice. And guidance chips, so he can turn one of his dice into an extra hit when he fires those plasma torpedoes. Okay, so in some ways, it's quite a stripped down list. You don't see a lot of the things that you'd normally expect to see on some of these ships. So, for example, the Barons of the Empire. Yes, they've got push the limit and the title and so on, but usually people put auto thrusters on them instead, don't they?
Usually, yes.
And then the Gamma Squadron pilots, they've got torpedoes and a spare shot and the guidance chips. But a lot of people these days are finding that the Gamma Squadron Veteran is a very popular ship.
Yeah, especially since it's pilot skill 6, I believe. It was
5. It has
yes,
one extra
yes.
pilot. For 1 extra point, it has 1 extra pilot skill and an elite pilot slot.
And that is a very valuable slot, especially for bombers, because they can get to push them, they can get rerolls, they can get Predator as well.
Or particularly for torpedo boats, they can choose Deadeye. Yeah, and Deadeye is what makes the Contracted Scout such a deadly, scary torpedo fire, because it doesn't need to target lock someone. In particular, it's often very hard to target lock someone who is higher pilot skill than you, because they
move after
you. Move, they're still out of range, then they move into range.
Yes.
Deadeye just require a target lock with require a focus.
And there's no range restriction on focus, so...
And you don't have to choose a specific target either.
No, so it gives you more options in that debate.
So, it's going to be interesting to see Michael's options here. Because of the fact he doesn't have Deadeye, he's going to need to get target locks on those TIE defenders. Unfortunately, those TIE defenders are fast enough to stay out of range and then move into range. And that could be really deadly for him. If he's unlucky, he may never get a chance to fire those torpedoes at all.
Yeah, because they have a range 1 blind spot.
Absolutely. They can only shoot at range 2 to 3. However, he does have an ace up his sleeve in the form of those Barons of the Empire. Those Barons want to be at range 1. So you can potentially see an issue where Geoff has a real problem. If he gets into range 1, those proton rockets hit him hard. If he stays at range 2 to 3 of the bombers, which are further back from the Barons, then those bombers hit him with those plasma torpedoes.
And those plasma are more damaging because they remove shields, don't they?
Exactly. So, Michael is going to have to really work his ship as a team here. He cannot afford to split up and send them off all over the place. He's got to make them work together as a group.
Hello, Kappa Waldo. Welcome to the chat.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I've said hi to Kappa Waldo already, but hi again. Yes.
Hi.
So, thoughts on the stream. Who do you think is going to win? Triple X7 defenders with all pilot skill 6, including Colonel Vestry, or double TIE Advanced prototype Barons, double bombers. Hit hard if they can get those target locks and range in. Okay. Thoughts. Type them up in the meantime. Dave, what do you think?
I really think it's the defenders here. Yeah, there's 3 of them. They're hard hitters. You've got no shields on the defenders. On the bombers.
Yep.
So crits could be an interesting proposition here. They aren't too defense based anyway. Yeah, it's a question of what he's going to use around the board. I think looking at what things are set up here while I was trying to set the overlay up, you've kind of got like a 2-and-2 setup here. So one Baron alongside a bomber. And then likewise the other one a little bit further out.
Yeah, they haven't set up yet. It's worth noting. I think those are just on the board waiting.
No,
They have started.
Yeah,
my
they've started.
apologies. Okay.
Yes, they have started.
Right. So in that case, ignore that. So the defenders are all staying together. Obviously, they want to concentrate that fire to weather the hits and really kill something before they ever get a chance to take them down.
Yeah.
Okay. Elliot, what do you think?
Oh, it's a hard one. There's the numbers game or there's the power. I seriously don't know because I put it more towards. I'll put it more towards Michael's side because he has attack value when it comes to his torpedoes and secondary weapons, although temporary as they may be, and numbers on the TIE defenders. Are they the X7s?
They are X7s, yeah.
So they do get the evade token when they perform a maneuver that's higher than 3.
Yeah.
So he wants to punch through those. I do think that is the key thing. I'm going to put it towards Michael's side of the board for now. However, I think it's quite an evenly placed match, personally.
Yeah. Now, for me personally, I think the defenders just edge it. Michael has to have things go right for him to win. He's got to get those target locks for those gammas to fire. He's got to get range 1 for those proton rockets to fire. Geoff has a negative to lose. He's got to make mistakes in order to lose. Michael has to do really well in order to win. And for that reason, I think my money is just on Geoff. If he can counteract Michael's plans, he has the advantage. He's got better attack values, he's got better defence values, he's got more hits and hull points, although not per ship, although not overall. He's got better manoeuvres with that white K-turn. So I think it's Geoff's to lose and Michael's to win.
Yeah, if you look at the overall, there's only a grand total of 2 hit points difference on both sides. Michael here has the slight advantage here, but it's the strength of those shields that are going to be on Geoff's side here, I think.
Absolutely. Okay. And it's going to be, I think, that first pass that really does it. If Michael can get his proton rockets and or his torpedoes into play and cause some real damage on those defenders, he's got a chance. If those defenders punch in and he doesn't get those shots, then I'm afraid it's game over for him. The defenders can K-turn and still get full modified shots. He can't. He's got a K-turn and then clear his things for the bombers to work. Those TIE advanced prototypes have to spend at least a turn turning round before they can do anything as well.
Yes.
So yeah, it is. I think it is Geoff's to lose. Doesn't say Michael can't win, but I think he has the most work to do.
Yeah, it is going to be literally the start of the game that's going to like punch its way through. It's a question of how Geoff is going to try and deal with those range band one
so
shots.
Here we go. So here's Geoff. He's got the pilot skill advantage as well, remember. Right, so there is that glaive. Now he's going to be in range 1 for that proton rocket, I think. I'm assuming that TIE Advanced prototype does have a focus token.
As a target lock.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's kind of been outplayed.
Does it not
there.
have one because it's got push the limit? Does it not have a...
I believe it barrel roll. Oh no, it does have a focus. Yes, it does.
Token.
Right.
Or is that its evade token?
No.
Because if it's target...
Yeah, so it must be an evade token.
Okay, so it doesn't have proton rockets.
Sadly so.
Yeah, and now we see where the real downside of being lower pilot skill and needing target locks comes into play. Neither of Michael's bombers has a target lock. They're not going to fire that ordnance in this turn, while the defenders are in perfect range. Next turn, he's going to really struggle to get both of them, at the very least, perhaps even only one of them, it might have trouble getting a range and a target lock on a perfect target for them.
The other thing to take note here is that number 2 Baron here is already stressed. So it means that it can't K-turn next turn. I don't believe it has a...
Yeah, TIE Advanced prototypes don't tend to like K-turning. They much prefer turn and boost, especially with push the limit on the field. The exception is if they've got Duke. Sometimes if they've got Duke, they don't tend to stress, so they can K-turn instead. But push the limit, they'll do exactly the same as the Interceptors. Turn, boost, rather than stay where they are. Sorry, rather than K-turn. So, so already I think this is looking a bit like Geoff. I mean, Michael might weather this, but Geoff has the advantage here on this turn. There's no ordnance coming in from Michael. Geoff has his full set of attacks coming
and he has two lots of shots coming in from one from Vestry and one from number 2 Glaive against the number 2 Baron.
So here we go. There's the first
hit focus.
There's the first Glaive coming in. Now the one thing that might make a difference. So this is Vestry coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the one thing, Vestry isn't quite as good as Ian's Vestry in the first game, where he could get 2 target locks on each of his attacks. This Vestry only has a single attack, but on the flip side, he is harder to kill.
Okay, so Vestry just spent the target lock there.
Yeah. So that's spent the focus. So 3 hits already coming in on that.
Vestry is a very interesting. I rarely you never see Vestry.
No.
But we've seen him twice today. There's 2 focus.
One of focus.
Yeah, one evade. Yeah, 2 evades. Spent the focus to get the 3rd evade.
Okay, so Michael has managed to stop 2 points of damage, and he has 1 shield down. Yep, thank you.
That's number 2, right?
That's number 2. Yep.
1 shield down.
Yeah. So, crack shot. So nether shield down. Okay, so all of these 3 have crack shot. 1 shot, punch extra damage through, and that can really help the Alpha Strike.
Yeah, and this helps here as well because that means that the range band 1 shot that Geoff has with the Glaive Squadron is going to be straight up against Hull.
Yeah, that TIE Adv prototype could well go down.
Yeah, first run of combat.
Ouch.
So 2 hits. That's
2
enough
hits.
to do it.
Lock.
He does have a target lock. Yep. So now that Vestry's fired, he doesn't need to keep it around as much. So re-roll those 2.
Boom, boom.
And that's a focus.
Another hit.
And is that a crit?
Yeah, it is a crit. So
bam, bam. Oh
no!
Evade, and that's a focus. So the crit punches through.
This could be direct hit and death, unfortunately.
It's entirely possible. It's a risk with 2 hull ships, isn't it?
That's the risk. That's why you don't see E-wings.
Yeah.
They're expensive for 2 hull, and all it takes is to punch 1 damage through, and it's double damage, and that's it. That's all it takes.
Cool. Okay, well, Deck Officer, it sounds like you're on the side of defenders here as well.
Well, it looks like defenders have taken an open salvo. I think they're doing very well.
Yeah. Okay. So
do you want to readjust your estimate?
No, my estimate was I think it was with the defenders.
Oh,
yours
mine
was on the
Mags.
bombers.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a crack shot coming in again. So what's Michael taken? 1-2, dead. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a key there. I think that was a good time to use that. That's just effectively wiped one of Michael's ships out. Without having a shot.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
taken
3 on 3.
Yeah.
This is now well and truly.
And that's just
Geoff's
2
favour.
ships. He hasn't even used his 3rd ship yet.
Nope. And this 3rd ship is going to come against the number 1 Baron of the Empire here.
And so focus hit blank. He's going to spend that focus token. So yeah. And that's 1 evade and 1 focus. He's going to spend the focus, so at least he's prevented damage there.
Yeah. And he could crack shot anyway.
Yeah, is he going to crack shot?
I don't think it's worth it.
Sometimes, it's interesting. It depends whether you regard crack shot as enhancing your Alpha Strike, punched up as much damage through as possible, or whether you regard it as being to punch damage through when you wouldn't otherwise at all.
I think
especially crits.
I think he's waiting for the crack shot because don't forget that 1 volley from a range 1 defender could take out one of those TIE Adv prototypes.
Absolutely.
So
it did.
It did. So there you go. Well, 2 volleys, but yeah.
Yes. So
2 hits.
Here comes the TIE Advanced prototype back. 2 hits, nice.
So we only need 1 here.
Okay, evade.
Yep.
And then remember, he's still got evade tokens as well.
Yeah,
this is the really hard part. So that was a bomber. Yeah. So TIE Advanced prototype coming in and 1 hit. He's got no dice mods.
That means that at least the evade is going to keep him alive.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, that's the problem. It's 2 dice attack ships without that ordnance.
Here comes bomber.
2.
Yep, last bomber. He'd be very lucky to punch it through when he's still got the evade token.
Especially if there's only 1 there.
1,
There's
2, hitting a crit.
Hit a crit, respectable, but probably not enough.
No. There we go, 4 dice,
Yeah.
an evade, you get 2
They
evades.
didn't even need the token.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is not looking good for Michael already after turn 1, is it? Key thing, if he can get some of those, some of that ordnance on station, but I just don't think
I fully agree. No, I don't think it's going to end up there.
Yeah,
I think it's...
he's just in a really poor position as far as this goes.
The key thing with this TIE X7 is that it can do speed 3 to 5s and have an evade token sitting on there, so it's very good at that. I was getting a bit confused there because I was thinking of the good old K turns, but the only one that can do that is Countess Riyadh, not Vessery or the
They can still do K turns, and don't forget they are white. However, K turning now I don't think is effective. I think you'd much rather want to wait it out. I think maybe if you want a K turn to catch the prototype, you would, but that means that you'll then be range 1 with a bomb behind you, 3 attack dice. It's not fun. It's not, the bomber's not going to have a good opportunity to hit you, but you'd still rather not present your rear arc to the enemy.
Mm-hmm. So it's what K turns have the defenders got?
I believe they've got a 4 K turn. I will double check that. So the defenders have a claps that down. They have a 4 K turn that's white, and that's all they have.
Okay, so it's still not a bad K turn to have.
No, the number 2 can't K turn. Number 3 could.
Well, remember at this stage,
Vessery
actually, the Baron and the bomber
move first.
So the 4K still may be an option unless there's a slow roll up here for Michael. But
I do think that 3 would block if it did, but yeah. We're just trying to guess what they do. He thinks K10. I don't think I don't think it's in the best interest for the defenders to K10 yet, unless they want to catch the prototype.
Well, the bottom glaive certainly can't K-turn.
Yeah.
That time that's prototype in exactly the wrong position.
Well, don't forget they move first.
Yes, that's true actually. Yeah, I think that bomber might just do 1 forward, try and block those things. So.
I don't think a bomber. No, yeah, bomber can do a 1-4. It's one of the few TIE pies that can.
Indeed, yes.
One of the few ties that can. It's also one of the few ties without a 5 forward. So.
Yes.
Although it does have a 5K turn.
It does. And that K-turn can sometimes be used for positioning, but it really is a problem when you need a target lock to fire an ordnance.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the mechanics of the game, I think, generally. One small issue. I think it's thematic and makes sense, but the problem with that is I think the range of target lock should have been a bit longer than your attack range value.
Yes, I agree. And as it is, it's just if you're a lower pilot skill than your opponent, it's very, very hard to get a target lock if they know what they're doing, especially if they're fast.
Yeah.
And these defenders, we know, are fast.
Yeah.
Here you go. So that's a bank maneuver to try and cut both the top 2 defenders there for this potential K turn.
Of course, they could just move 1 forward, slow roll
They
it.
can't move 1 forward, but they can move 2 forwards.
They can move 2. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least they'll get a shot with 1 bomber. The other bomber should be able to swing round and get a target lock. So 1 or 2 bank to the left.
I think. Ooh.
Hard turn. Ooh, that's a bit more aggressive than I thought. The problem is, he risks getting into short range.
Yes, and there's the plasmas.
The bombers really want to stay away.
Yeah, I know.
But still, on the other hand, you just get a 3 dice attack if you were to be at range band 1.
Yeah, but it's
but
against
then
a
you're
TIE defender with
yeah,
an evade token.
then
He really needs those torpedoes to go off.
You've spent points on torpedoes that you're not using.
There we go. Michael is being smart. He's target lock number 3 at the top because that's the one most likely to be out of range.
Yes.
Out of short range.
Agreed.
So, where are these defenders going? Now, if Michael's really lucky, they'll all have tried to K-turn, and they'll all hit that bomber, and won't have 2 of them won't have a shot, and one of them.
So this is 1 bank.
Oh, right in the path of the bomber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he going to get a shot back? Okay, the bomber is safe at least.
Yes.
That's something.
That is something at least.
Okay.
It means that number 3 and 4 could converge fire on that one if they wanted to.
Yes, but number 4 is going to want to fire its torpedoes if it possibly can.
If it can, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see when number 3 goes.
Thing is, if Vessery is doing a 1 bank as well, he will catch number 4 Gamma.
Yeah. Now, interesting to note, the one big disadvantage that Geoff has given himself by doing this, then not speed 3 or 4 or 5 manoeuvre, he's not going to acquire those evade tokens.
Yep.
I'm actually quite surprised at him for doing that.
Yeah, so he's only got what he gets, which is the focus token, because you can't do evades naturally on TIE defenders. I believe 3 may just have arc, just barely. If not,
I don't
it
think
has
it
on
does.
number 3.
It definitely
bomber.
does on number 3, yeah. But here's the thing now. He's going to fire, but he's going to have to split fire. Number 2 has no shot. Number 3, I think, only has a shot on blue 3. Vessery seems to have a shot on... He's definitely got a shot on the lower one, but I think he's going to have to split fire. Neither bomber, I think, will go down this turn, and he's going to be relying on crits. In return, number 2 might have a torpedo shot on number 3. At the very least, both 3 and 4 can converge their fire on one evadeless TIE defender.
I think number 2 will probably be the best one for that.
So
Or
Vessery, can Vessery shoot up there?
Or do number 3, because number 2 could act as a...
Yeah,
Actually,
if
no,
number 3 is
yeah.
in short range,
Yeah.
it's, then number 4 won't get its shot anyway. So I think number 3 makes sense either way.
Yeah, I just think number 3 is better because
Yeah.
if not, you're kind of clearing the way.
Yeah.
For,
The other thing is number
Geoff.
2 isn't going to get a chance to spend its token.
Yeah.
So here comes Vessery.
That's 2 hits and a focus by the looks of things.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
2 hits and a focus.
who's he firing at? Number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4, okay. So he's thinking about spending...
Focus. Ooh. Oh, dangerous game to play.
Potentially.
He's saying
No, he's
he's
keeping it. But that's no results from Michael there. So 2 points down on number 4. No shields on the bomber note.
Yes.
One of the few ships that doesn't have any shields at all.
Most TIE fighters don't, actually.
Yeah,
Well,
apart
you
from,
say
the,
that.
apart from the new editions with the typhos.
Only really the TIE Fighter, the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Bomber don't. All the other TIEs do.
But they are the most prevalent TIEs.
They are the most prevalent TIEs, yes.
That's my statement, essentially.
Yes.
Just going to shove this over a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
so
now, Michael, is he in torpedo range? If he is, then Red 3 could be in trouble. I think he's in range 1 there, though.
I think he is in
Which,
range 1.
strangely, isn't where you want to be with that.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
another attack, an evade and a focus. Is he going to spend the focus? No. I believe that's another couple of hits, this time on a separate bomber. Let me double check that. Let me preview. Yep, the other bomber has now taken each bomber.
Yeah, so as we thought, those bombers have had to split fire. Those defenders have had to split fire. So, in return... Now, does number 3 have a target lock of any kind? Oh, he's he's going after Vessery.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That's actually not a bad
That's why I
play.
say to focus. Yeah. Okay. So, bam, 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 bam. That's not bad. That's 2 hits. Plus, he then gets his guidance chip.
Is that a crit down there, though?
I think that's a focus. I
That
think
does
it's
look
2
like a
focus. Yeah, 2 focuses and guidance chips. Is he going to? Oh, is he going to remember guidance chips?
No, don't remember guidance chips. Oh no.
2 evades.
Missed. It's a missed opportunity.
Guidance chips would have taken 2 points of damage down. 1 hit and shields.
Oh.
No. Oh no.
It's a lesson to always be wary of your cards and what
Absolutely, yeah. And there's some classics people just forget. Predator and Lone Wolf are the ones people often forget. Right, and then that's a normal range 1 attack, 1 hit.
you have. Not going to do much.
I wouldn't have spent the target lock. I'd have kept it for next turn.
Yeah.
2 hits. That's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough. It's not going to punch through the defense, especially with an evade. Yeah, there's 2 evades. 2 natural evades.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
Ouch. Yeah. Oh, poor Michael. Vessery could be 2 hull down now.
And we thought this list would be an interesting list to watch. It seems to have just all go horribly wrong.
It's just higher pilot skill. If your opponent knows what they're doing with their flying on the approach, you just cannot target lock them for those attacks.
Dial nearly went astray there.
Yeah, absolutely. So as it is, that's no damage at all for Michael.
Okay, quick topic change. What are you most looking forward to ship-wise over the next couple of waves?
Oh, that's very different. I think there's a lot of good stuff, but for me, it's going to be the Protectorate. I am by nature a manoeuvre player. I will always choose a manoeuvre option over an attack option or a defence option. Because for me, the game is about those manoeuvres and choosing the correct manoeuvre.
The thing is, I was talking in the stream about this earlier, and it's kind of a kamikaze fighter because it restricts you to being in there firing up.
No, careful about your assumptions there. It still has access to boost and barrel roll. We think it will probably have a green hard turn. Nothing whatsoever stops it from arc dodging.
That's true.
It just gives you some stuff if you can't arc dodge.
That's a good point.
I think that the Protectorate will be a really slippery thing. Hard to kill out of arc. It's possible to kill out of arc, hard to kill in arc.
That's a good point. You are, as normal, you've kind of flipped it on its head.
Yeah.
And that's why we like to have you on the show. It's brilliant.
Yeah, just because it can go head to head and gets bonuses for doing so doesn't mean it actually wants
Because usually when you're spending money on, or points, you say, on those pilot abilities, you usually think I've got to use those.
Yeah.
Whereas in what you say, it's one of those. It's there for when you need it.
Exactly. So think about it this way: why do people take Palpatine? In theory, if you can dodge arcs, you don't need Palpatine. But in fact, of course, you can't dodge all the arcs. Palpatine is there for when you can't dodge the arcs.
Yeah.
And I think the Protectorate title might come into the same kind of play. If you get stuck in arc, fair enough. You've got your ability. But if you don't need to get stuck in arc dodge, get out of the way.
Mm.
And still shoot your opponent without being shot back.
I agree. Some good manoeuvring here by Michael Magg. He seems to have blocked the claves with the Taba number 4 and the.
That one is K-turning.
Yeah, the Baron seems to have tried to cut them off in a flanking maneuver if they were to K-turn.
Yeah.
Number 3.
So his target locked up Vessery by the looks of it. Okay. So there we go. There is the other one K-turning. So he obviously wants to come in and pincer them 2 behind.
Ooh, very nice movie.
Yeah. Now the question is, have those defenders K-turned?
But he gains stress, so he cannot.
This is the problem.
He cannot get a target lock.
You need that target lock.
Yep.
And again, this is why the Jump Master's so good. Deadeye means that they can just focus. They don't have to get those target locks against a high pilot skill pilot. And then they've got a white S-loop, which means that they can, if they're not stressed themselves, they can get Nether to focus the next turn.
Mm.
And that's what makes them so
I believe
deadly,
that is indeed a
so
K-turn.
Okay,
Geoff.
so he hasn't blocked the K-turn.
Well, at least from that one.
I don't think he was going to block the K-turn, to be fair.
No, probably not. That probably means number 4 is dead this turn.
Probably does.
And he's number 4 has target locked up Vessery. Vessery doing a K-turn as well, so he's not even going to get a shot on Vessery.
Oh dear, like I say, it's all going horribly wrong.
It is, yeah. It's just, it's part. I think it's partly just a bad matchup for Michael.
It is.
Everything higher pilot skill than him and fast. It's just not working out. But that's the thing. Defenders are fast. They're mobile. They're hard to kill. They do everything these days. They are very solid.
Maybe one that gets blocked here though.
It's better if it's not blocked, because then at least Michael gets some form of attack. But I do think
he's got an attack anyway.
Well, yeah, but to attack with that,
He's got a target at range 1 anyway. Not getting shot by 2 ships is better than not getting shot.
Yeah, you can see that. It's actually right through where the base has been removed.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, ouch. That bomb is going down this turn.
Yeah, it's going to die. There's no question about it.
Absolutely.
Oh, and that means Vessery will get a shot on number 3, which I may just clip the asteroid.
It won't go through there, so there'll be a bump at the rear.
No, it looks like they're talking bump now.
Yeah, which is why I say it looks really tight there.
That might help. That might help a little bit.
So it means that one's only going to have 1 shot laid on it.
It's also broken up the formation, so
yes.
Although it doesn't really matter much for the TIE defenders, it's still...
But it still concentrates fire.
Yes.
There are advantages to formations over and above any kind of synergy you might have.
Yeah, indeed.
So,
so you're the Protectorate. What are you excited for, David? I probably guess, but go for it.
Well, that's the problem. There's so many things that coming out that catch my eye. Obviously, like you, the Arc 170, because of the fact of, as I was saying before you came back in, having the front and rear arcs, which you've only seen so far on the Fire Spray. So it's nice to have that on a smaller ship.
Although the YV666 does have something similar with 180 degrees.
Yeah,
it has the same overall arc area, but in a different place.
In a different place, yeah.
Yes.
Then you've also got what's come out in Wave 10, it recently been released, the U-Wing, which with that double flip title card that's been released.
So here we go. Oh,
hello.
So
I believe we had something going.
Okay, so
this must be the shot from number 2 onto the...
Yeah, because it's range 1, and it's failed to damage it at range 1.
Wow.
Okay, that might just help Michael a little bit. I don't think it's enough to swing it, but it might assist. Yeah,
I
so
can't believe that.
next
Well,
up...
it was 3 evade dice, so maybe Vessery against number 3? Going through the
Ah,
asteroid?
maybe, yeah. So there's the bomber. Right, so 2 points of... Yeah, so 2 points of damage. Yep, 2 points of damage on that bomber.
On number 4, okay.
Yep. Bam, bam. Yeah, this isn't looking good at all.
No, it's not looking good at all.
Yep. And then that bomber firing back, it's got that evade token though. That's probably those evade tokens
No
are
evade
really
tokens,
hard to
yeah.
punch meaningful damage through. And with 6 on 6 on
Oh.
oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dearie me. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I feel kind of sad for Michael at this point.
This is painful.
It's the die. We've seen really good dice rolls all day, and then in just this game, it just all falls
all
apart.
failed. So, now he has one slight advantage. If he K-turns with that bomber, he can still shoot Vessery with a torpedo.
Yeah, it'd be good
But
for
it's
him.
not enough.
It's not enough.
No.
Unfortunately, he's being whittled down.
So there's Vessery defending.
Defended.
Yeah,
Easy.
That's the problem. These defenders are really tough to punch through.
I wonder if this game is going to end up with Geoff getting an absolute, I'm going to say it's a perfect 100-0.
It
Taking
could do.
absolutely no damage at all the whole game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. They seem to be very consistently
I'm going to
evading damage.
I'm going to go on Michael's side here. I think Michael will do some damage. I don't think he'll kill a ship though.
Yeah, I think he'll do
That's the
something, but he won't
Yeah.
do kill a ship.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You've got to kill stuff to win. So it might be 100 not score. I think he's going to at least do damage. So yeah, and then defend it. So nothing at
there.
all.
Oh,
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah, this is
It's going
not looking
horribly.
good for Michael. What about you, Elliot?
me. Call me crazy. I'm excited for Sabine's tie.
Now, see, I haven't seen Star Wars Rebels.
Yes.
I've just literally seen a few episodes into season 2, which is where you actually see Sabine's TIE Fighter.
No, you see it in season 1.
Oh, so the end
Yes,
of season 1,
end
my
of season one.
apologies.
Okay. So spoilers for anyone who watched Star Wars Rebels. Mute us for about a few seconds. So they do steal a TIE Fighter and they do paint it up such. The reason it get a crew slot is because when they steal it, they have someone pilot it and they have someone in the cockpit with them.
Okay.
So that's why the crew slot is there. Yes, people are annoyed that why does that get a crew slot when the TIE SF doesn't, because the TIE SF is gunning at the back.
Yeah.
The person who is in the TIE Fighter in the episode was just there as a passenger doing stuff.
That's the thing. It depends on whether they're actually helping out or whether they're just doing another job in the ship itself, isn't it?
Yeah, they were just there as plus it gives the TIE Fighter for the Rebels a unique thing, which one can take a crew slot, which opens interesting options.
Sure.
And I did play Sabine Wren with Black Market Slicer tools.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to play with because the fact that she can boost before every maneuver and then do a 5 forward
Yes.
gives her a complete arc of manoeuvring. It's amazing.
Yeah, the deck officer, we definitely think the Protector is it's a kamikaze, as Elliot was saying. Now, you don't have to do it that way, but if you want to, you can just fly straight down the enemy's guns.
Probably going to die very quickly if you do that, though.
Yes, but I kind of imagine it as flying straight in and the pilot shouting, "Witness me!" as he goes in. Absolutely. Right, so what are we expecting? I'm expecting K-turns from all 3 defenders.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to do anything other because he pinces if he does that.
Yeah.
He's probably
Now,
going to catch number
Am
4.
I thinking that the TIE Bomber only has a 5 K-turn?
Yes, it does.
Smart move for Vessery is do 5 forward and possibly get out of range. 5 that way, 5 that way. Is he going to still be in range? And he might avoid that torpedo altogether.
True.
That is an interesting thought.
Yes.
I guess that is an interesting thought though, because it's effectively a distance 10 between them, so...
Yeah. Because they're,
Five
they're
is
basically
actually the
parallel
distance
to
of
each
range
other.
3,
aren't they?
isn't it?
Yeah, so here comes the K-turn. Okay.
The question is, what will number 3 do? Because number 3, Glaive, I should say.
I think he's going to bank to the right and
Yeah.
try and catch some of those defenders or block them or something along those lines. Blue
As
3.
a Glaive,
Blue
yeah.
3. Oh, so the red 3.
Yeah, red 3.
I think he's going to have chosen a 3 forward.
Yeah, I don't think he's going
Do
to
that
K-turn.
evade. He knew that K-turn was coming.
However,
3 forward gets him that evade token.
I want to know whether it's 3-4 because Maggs is betting number 3 is probably going to K-turn. He's going to end up with 4 behind and with the prototype coming with the flank. But I agree with you. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
honestly don't think Geoff would have done something like that. I do think you're talking either 3 or 4 straight. It's not going to be a K turn.
Yeah, he wants to get in close to the bombers, but not close to the prototypes, as you state.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm surprised Michael has been so cautious with number 1, though. He still has proton rockets.
he does.
I'd have been trying to bring him in behind Red 2, set it up for number 3 to be proton rocketed.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So he's coming in that way. He wants to bracket number 3 and at least kill something.
Which is smart.
So clear the stress. No, it's not clear of stress. That's the problem.
It's a
It's the 2 that he needs to
It's
clear
the 2.
stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is the issue with yeah.
That's when TIE Advanced Mark II engine would be helpful, but then you don't have guidance ships,
Yeah.
which, to be fair, he forgot anyway.
Yeah.
So it's such a shame he forgot that one instance of it.
And he could have hurt Vestry.
Yeah, 2 hits. That's better than nothing.
Exactly. As it is, it's not looking good at all, is it?
No,
so
it's not.
Vestry K-turn.
I believe so.
It's the obvious move.
Oh, no, it's not. It's a 3 turn.
Okay. So
Just nipping away to...
you can't do it that way.
You can't do it that way.
Can't do it that way.
Can't do it that way. Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work.
Oh, please tell me they're not going to do it this way. Oh, no.
Oh dear.
No.
No.
No, even worse.
Oh god.
Even worse.
Never mind. Never mind.
Never mind.
That would be on the near side, wouldn't it? If you were going to follow it through that way.
You'd have to move it back because technically you've offset it to the right. So
Yes.
Um,
oh dear. Right.
Yeah.
Never mind. And this thing, TIE Bomber is one of those ships that has a 2 green bank to clear stress, and it's one of the few ships that wants a 1 bank because it wants to stay as far away from its enemies as possible.
That's the exact reason I also think the E-wing needs to have something that improves the start, because it's got a 2 bank, which gives it great manoeuvrability, but its 1 bank isn't great.
Okay, so what do you think the chances are of a Rebel Aces pack are? The equivalent of Rebel Veterans, the equivalent of the Imperial Veterans, which buff the TIE Bomber and the TIE Defender. And let's face it, the TIE Defender and the E-Wing are roughly equivalent. They came out in the same wave, they fulfill the same kind of role in a ship, in a group. They are high stats, expensive, elite ships, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get a Rebel Veterans at some point?
I think we will. It's just a case of when.
Yes. And what will be the second ship in Rebel Veterans?
There's 2 candidates.
Yep.
One has to be the E-wing, because that definitely needs something.
Absolutely. If they buff the TIE Defender, they can't not then go and buff the E-Wing.
Yeah. The other one...
So that glaive is turning around that way.
Ooh.
I think that TIE Advanced prototype has just managed to avoid it.
By a couple of millimetres there.
Interesting. Okay. So, do we think Vestry's got out of range? Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. It can either be... It's a weird choice to make. It could be an X-wing
Yep.
or a Y-wing.
Absolutely.
Because we don't have very many Y-wing pilots for the Rebels. There's
And
none
it's a classic Rebel
yeah.
ship with only 2 named pilots.
with no elite talents either. No elite talent slots. You need to have the R2D6 to do that.
That's right.
Whereas Scum already have one that has an elite talent slot.
Yeah. Or
Go on.
the X-Wing.
Yeah, of course, the
As we
X-wing,
said.
Yeah.
And we've talked about already how the X-Wing is unfortunately just not cutting it in today's world.
No, it's not bad, but it's not... It's not
Exactly.
top tier, as it were.
Exactly.
And
Right.
it's the titular ship, so it has to be.
So, and is that a bump?
That
That
looks to
is
be a
a
bump.
bump. Okay, well, Michael's not done badly here this turn.
No.
In fact, he's not going to... Oh, no, it wasn't a bump. It was just a...
Oh.
Or was it a bump?
Well, it should have been a bump.
They put it
It
by
was
the
a
side,
bump.
didn't they?
It was a bump, but don't forget, it still gives the token.
It does, but Michael has managed to not get shot at all. So I don't know whether that was good flying on Michael's part or bad flying on Jeff's. Yeah, there we go.
There you go,
Just
correcting,
shifting
yeah.
in. Or bad flying on Jeff's part. But Michael now has 1 uninterrupted turn of shooting. Can he do anything with it? Problem is, his TIE Advanced prototype doesn't have a shot either.
Right. So, yeah. Only.
In fact, only TIE
Only
Bomber number 4
TIE
does, so
Bomber
it's
4
not
has a
great.
target.
Yeah, it's not that
It's not
great.
a great round.
No. And
yeah.
he doesn't have a target lock on that one. Oh dear. And Vestry's out of range.
I've already talked about how I'll fix the X-wing previously in other
Yeah.
talks. How would you fix it?
That is a really hard choice. I think you're right. A title is the only design space left to it. It doesn't have that much in the way of slots. Well, no, not quite right. I think the astromech, more astromechs, I think will help.
I do think that will help.
And the astromechs most of them are just a bit lackluster.
Yeah, they don't give you very much for the points you cost.
Absolutely.
R2D2 is really good for 4 points.
He is.
Yeah.
But the rest are just not that great.
And I mean, R2 astromech is good, but it's not a game winner.
Yeah.
Now, someone posited a very interesting idea that I'd like to look off. A 1 or 2 point astromech, discard your focus token to remove a token from the enemy. So kind of like a one-shot ways. Now suddenly those jump masters, when they start losing their focus tokens, that could be a game changer.
No range restriction, you just remove a token?
Something in arc and range, maybe. But if you have a focus token, your enemy has a focus token, you spend your focus token to remove your enemy's focus token.
And suddenly Big Starflyer survives even longer.
Exactly. But something like that could be quite good. And that would just shut down jump masters straight away. It would, because at the moment, jump masters just shut down X-Wings.
Yeah, and that actually really affects all X-Wings and is useful for X-Wings. Because
it works on anything with a slot.
Yeah. Do you spend the token or you just discard a token?
I don't know.
Because if the wording...
But something like that. Swap a token.
If you say spend a token, you can have it affect all X-Wings possibly. Because Garva can then pass off the focus to another one.
Yes.
Hobby can get rid of focus.
Yeah.
Wes is removing 2 tokens from an attacker.
Right.
And then you've also got the likes of...
Yeah. So Michael is clearing his stress there. Yeah, there goes the stress.
Yeah, and then you've got Hobby as well, if it was to get rid of his target lock.
Now the problem he's got here is, by clearing the stress there, he can't K-turn next turn.
Thing is, Deck Officer, a Rebel Veterans with a X-Wing or Y-Wing, while thematic, it means the E-Wing doesn't get any love and the E-Wing needs a fix.
Yeah.
It's the one ship which we don't have any today at all, and it's very rare that you ever see an E-Wing, and when you do, it's Corran
Why is he
Horn.
turning that way?
I have no idea, maybe it was a mistake on the dial.
That's not where I would have gone.
Because
he's not going to get a shot there.
And it's possibly even worse because number 3 could swoop in from the side there and even sideswipe it.
Right. Personally, I would prefer E and X in a Rebel Veterans. And the reason is, although I agree the Y-Wing needs more pilots, the Y-Wing doesn't need more love.
No, it doesn't.
The X-Wing needs some help
the Y-Wing is fine and pilots can be added later.
It works.
It works. The X-Wing doesn't really work. The E-Wing definitely does not work.
Exactly.
Those two need a fix. And plus, they are from the same design line as well.
Exactly.
So it kind of fits there.
Precisely. And the other thing I'd like to see, we've got Corran Horn, but what we don't have is his name droid, Whistler. Yeah, I'd love to see a Whistler droid. Especially something that works with Corran Horn.
Yeah, one where it becomes, do I have Whisper or do I have R2?
Exactly, yeah.
That should be that kind of thinking.
Precisely. Right, so there's the TIE Bomber. He's still going for Vessery, which is smart. It's the only target lock he's got.
No, I do like the discard token idea. Mine was focusing on torpedoes for X-Wings because of this fight for the Death Star, but I think Rebels already have like its torpedo kind of boats. And I think removing the focus or removing tokens gives the X-Wing a unique niche.
Yeah. And the Rebels you could do push the limit and do focus lock or focus and target lock.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's still issues with that because the X-Wing is not a good torpedo boat. It can't take extra munitions and it can't take guidance chips without giving it interactive astromech.
Well, mine would basically give it another torpedo slot and a built-in extra munitions, but for cheaper. And allow you to get like an extra dice when firing torpedoes, that kind of thing.
Or even make like the proton torpedoes slightly cheaper.
Discount on torpedo or something.
Yeah. Other thing I'd like to see a rogue squadron generic with an EPT for X-wings. A lot of the more recent ships have had EPTs on a high level generic.
Yeah, especially the Red Squadron, the Red Squadron T70.
I want to see a rogue squadron.
I would love to see that. Pilot skill 6. The rogue squadron is meant to be the best in the galaxy.
Best in the galaxy.
Exactly.
I think if they're going to do that, they should kind of do it's a bit power creepy. Maybe the first Pilot Skill 7 generic.
I don't think that's game breaking.
As long as you don't because you can put them up to 9 with a late talent, but then you're spending a lot of points on just a generic X-wing.
Yeah, with no ability on there. But you're seeing here with the glaives at 6.
If not, they should at least be 6 on par with a Royal Guard.
And Rogue Squadron is the best squadron in the galaxy.
Yeah.
There's very little else that can compete with them in terms of the sheer ability.
Here we go.
Right, so...
Range 3 shot between the two. If only he had a target lock.
Yeah. God.
It's just all not working.
Yeah,
it's all failing. Not working.
Oh dear. Right, so
So we know for a fact that Vessery does not have a shot here.
Yep. It's going to help, but I don't think it's going to help enough. And look at those defenders, they're double stacked. Tokened up, and he hasn't got a shot on more than one of them. A TIE bomber is not going to punch through a defender with that many. Yeah.
So spend a focus to.
Okay, so he's only got an evade now, but even so, this bomb
Is that 3
probably
hits?
this bomb is probably
it must
going
be
down.
3 hits because he would have changed more.
Yeah,
otherwise.
down it goes. That's the damage one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dead. Yeah. Bang, bang.
Bam, bam, dead.
Yep. Down it goes. Overkill.
Boom. Okay. So chat, if you've got any ideas for how the X-Wing can be fixed, please put them in the chat, and we'll read your suggestions. I'll be delighted to hear what people think.
Now,
should fix it.
Now, I think one thing that probably arouses more a lot of discussion with regards to X-Wing fixes. Did you ever play any X-Wing flight sims?
I did.
Which one did you play?
I've played all of them.
Okay.
I've played X-Wing, TIE Fighter, all the way through to Alliance.
But did you ever play Rogue Squadron?
I did.
Now, here's the thing.
Hang on, sorry to interrupt you. There's 2 hits and a crit in here. We can't see what that crit is.
Could be a game over for the Gammas.
We'll find out if this is a direct hit that will be removed off the board right at this point.
Nope.
Yeah. It's just, oh dear, it's 1 hit point and it can't take turn. Yeah, it's just all gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, with 34 minutes left on the clock.
Okay, so, sorry, as I was saying.
Rogue Squadron.
Okay, yes. So in, I believe, the Rogue Squadron game, you could close your S-foils to go faster, but you couldn't shoot. And here's the thing, I think people who have played Rogue Squadron often posit that as a way of fixing the X-Wing, something reduced to firepower in return for extra mobility. And those people who haven't played Rogue Squadron hate the idea because it never happens in the films and it doesn't happen in X-Wing Alliance and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. And
S-foils is a thing to make the ship look cool.
Yeah.
And if the only in-world explanation is that it's meant for dispersal of heat, isn't it, from the weapons to the engines,
or some kind of conversions thing for the gun, something like that.
Or weapon spread.
And that's the thing. Yeah. People who have played Rogue Squadron, they love the idea of having a close the X-Wing, close the S-Force thing, and people who haven't hate the idea.
So hang on, now you say that, we've got a double-sided card coming up in the
U-Wing.
In the U-Wing
pack.
So
absolutely.
why not something like that? So S-foils.
That's what people are positing for the
Yeah,
X-Wing.
that's what we want.
But people who don't, they point out in the films, no X-Wing ever closes S-foils in a combat situation.
Yeah, it keeps it open.
Exactly.
Because why would you close down? Even if he gets you
Exactly.
speed boost, you want to...
So, here comes a TIE Advance prototype.
moving to where number 3 is right now, but it's not going to be there.
Be there, yeah.
You know?
I'd almost say barrel roll.
You could just get past the asteroid, yeah.
So if you were to put the S-foils card, something to do with the S-foils, what would you say its ability should be?
I don't think you should have the S-foil.
No, I'm against the idea as well
me
because
too.
I never played Rogue Squadron. So, but other people are there.
I get why people want it, but it just doesn't fit it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Red KI-21. I think you're right. Defenders are powerful. I don't think they're necessarily better than Soontir Fel or the Inquisitor or something like that, but they are very, very good. They are right up in the top tier. They are certainly competitive.
I think at the moment, really, the 2 lists that would go nicely head-to-head would be interesting to see it, would be Jump Masters against the Defenders.
I happen to know there have been at least a couple of those out there today, and so far the Defenders aren't looking too bad.
Yeah, they're bloody the nose of the Jump Masters, which it encourages the meta, I think.
Yes, but it means that people just have to deal with the Defenders as well now.
Yeah, no.
Right, so here...
But I don't think they're as big and scary as the Contract Scouts.
So here comes this glaive. I'm predicting a barrel roll to get a shot on that TIE bomber.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a shot on that. It's worth... Yeah, a barrel roll right to get a shot on that TIE bomber. Might as well kill it.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I think it's...
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think an S-foil card is a good idea. I think it's just doesn't fit the meta.
No, it's
you
not
never see it in the film. Like, you never see an Arc 170 or an X-Wing close with S-foils in combat because the whole point is we're in combat.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're supposed to be doing. It was only there in X-Wing as a mechanical ability to make the game better because it was an arcade game.
Yes.
Where even in X-Wing, the original X-Wing games, you didn't get that burst of speed from closing the S-foils. No. You just closed the S-foils and you couldn't attack.
They deployed automatically and started as soon as the mission started. So,
actually, no, you could manually close them.
You could, but you never bothered.
But you never wanted to.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was just there, so you could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah. Okay, so that Fenner staying there, and there it comes with Vessery.
One thing I was going to say here, Elliot,
Yes.
the number of points Michael's got.
Ah,
left,
yes, that's gone down. Hasn't
he's
it?
lost 27 through to the loss of one of the barons of the Empire, which, if my maths is correct, takes us down to 40. I was going to say 46, but it's not. It's
50. 50. Yeah, dead on the money.
Mm.
One of each.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at it, I was thinking, why can't I work that one out?
So 3 hits.
Oh, 3 evades. Where was that earlier?
Is that, yeah. No,
Oh.
2 evades and a focus.
It was
Boom,
enough.
down
Boom.
it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at that. Look at that. No damage at all.
1 lone baron against.
Yeah.
Against
And then
everything else.
Vessery shoots. It probably won't kill him, but it's going to hurt.
No, number 2 can come on the prowl by doing a hard manoeuvre and turning towards that way. Yeah, I can't see a reason why at least number 3 won't K-turn this time, because it is, or this time round, because it is a white manoeuvre.
Yeah.
Doesn't have
Yes,
to worry
I
about
agree.
the stress.
We're just under
there's-
30 minutes left.
There he goes. So spend the evade token. He hasn't really been pushing the limit, has he?
No, he
These
hasn't.
things.
Thing is, he probably wants to keep his dial open for the larger manoeuvres. But the thing is,
2
you're
dice, spin the
waste-
target, lock 2 hits.
Yeah, but
Still
is
got
it?
the evade.
No, not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, focus. Yeah.
With 2 attack dice, it's very hard to punch anything through the 3 defense dice
Absolutely.
anyway, and even more so on defenders with X7 titles.
Yeah.
Also remember, isn't it one of those glaives that actually got crack shot left in reserve?
Yes, I have no idea which one has the crash shot on reserve. I will admit that is an oversight on my part.
So that could be an
But-
interesting little thing to consider if they all or they converge now on the one large.
If they
lone
all
baron.
converge on the Baron is finished.
It can't. Yeah, it can't survive. It's certainly not going to kill anything.
Yeah, it's 9 attack dice versus its 3 defense.
Yeah,
The odds aren't in its favour at all there.
absolutely.
Okay. E-Wing, how would you fix it?
That's a difficult one.
That's a very difficult
That is
one.
a very difficult one. But the interesting thing is, I think a lot of the X-Wing fixes are also E-Wing fixes. Astromechs.
I do think Asterix, I think...
But at the same time, I think it needs something similar to TIE Defender. It needs a buff of some kind to make it work. Now, the TIE Defender had, all 3 stats, 3, 3, 3, 3, and the white K-turn as its thing. The E-Wing doesn't even have that.
The E-Wing strength is in its upgrade bar.
That system slot on a
Yes.
small fighter. Yeah.
I think I think it's the combination of the Astromech
But
and the
you've got to be
systems as
careful
such.
because you don't want to break anything else with the system slot.
Yes, you can't just pop any old sensors in it.
Exactly.
I think a tile upgrade for it would be nice, and I'm actually thinking because you want something which benefits everyone else, but not necessarily Corrin.
Yeah.
And so for that, I think it should be a maneuver-based thing, so that you can like the X7s. After you perform a maneuver, you get something.
We've got our first lot of results coming in here, so let's see where we're at.
All right, and we'll see where we're at. We'll get back to that in a minute. So,
Ian Porter.
Ian
we had
Porter.
in the first game.
He actually lost. Sorry, no, he won. No. Sorry, Robin won against Ian Porter. So Porter suffered his first loss there.
Now,
Now,
so you look at the rankings there. It was
That
number
was
1
top
versus
table.
number 2.
Yeah,
That's
so
top table.
Jovel, Robin is now right at the top tables there. We are going to see him on the stream on the
What is-
Friday.
what is his
that's
list?
what the
Jovel
mine-
is
mine
running
link? No, it's not
double
mine link.
Defender Palpatine.
Ah, Palpatine. Okay, so Pal Paces.
Yeah.
All right then.
Um,
Table 2. We have Gareth Chambers, who killed 100 points worth of Oliver Walter Keogh.
so Oliver was running triple aces. Gareth was
Triple jumps.
running
And
triple
this was
jumps.
match 4 against 5.
Yep. Next is table 9.
So Chris with his X-wings.
Chris with X-Wings killed 100 points to Alan Hume's 0
Nice.
points.
Is that triple win for Chris?
No, I don't think
no,
he
he
won.
lost-
He lost his first game.
Okay, lost his first
But
game.
that's his second win.
That's good going. for
Very
him.
good. What
Yeah.
was Alan's list?
So Alan, TIE. These was the naked
naked
ties.
ties.
2 TIE fighters, 2 TIE FOs, and Whisper.
Well, I think
All
it- I think-
no upgrades.
I think it proves that no upgrades is not really good.
Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty against Mr. Clark.
Dusty against Mr. Tim Clark. Yes.
Okay, so Tim Clark was running double
party
scout
bus.
party bus, and Dusty we saw previously was running the Tel Truvius
So-
Nadrusalak
So
Cartel
Tim
Spacer.
Tim won between that exchange.
Yep.
Okay. Richard Connolly beat 100 points worth of Charlie Wallace.
So Richard Connolly was running Scath Boba. He's been doing well. The double fire spray. Is that 3 wins for him?
Two.
Two
Yes,
wins.
two
for him.
wins.
Okay. And that was versus
My apologies, that was against Charlie Wallace.
Charlie Wallace.
The Desi.
Yes. Doom Decimator, Omega Leader, and Mauler Middle.
Okay. Chris Turner's Denguri
Denguri
list
list.
won against Duncan Keogh.
Okay, so Duncan was flying. I'm sure I saw him here somewhere. Where's the other? That's Duncan. Duncan. There we go. Duncan double IGs.
Double IGs.
So
Okay.
Chris came through against the
That's
robots.
interesting. So, yeah, so Denguri versus beat IGs.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll have to look to see what we can get in the next round because I'm looking at that. I think we should stream something other than the top table.
Cool.
That's it.
Well, if you guys have any exceptions, so if you're seeing a ship on the Empire side that doesn't need the Emperor to make it stay on the table, Fried no matter what helps out so much. Vestir is scary to me, though the one less ship you have to worry about is propping up. Yeah, because he can work on his own. Focus, target lock, and evade when doing a K turn is very strong. I absolutely agree. Yeah, focus, evade. Focus, target lock, and evade, all while doing K turn is a very nice.
That's why I think when doing like a slow, when you do a speed 1 to 3 maneuver for the E-wing, I think you should be able to assign a focus token because it does buff Corrin in the initial attack, but he doesn't get it for the second attack, and then next round it's useless to him.
Yeah.
So I think that would be an interesting thing to do for it.
I think they also need something that just drops the points a little bit, like the TIE
Yeah, I
Defender
agree.
did.
I think
something. So again, like TIE Defender, something that buffs them for the same points, something that drops the points for maybe a slight advantage.
maybe discount on modification slots.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Or allow you to take 2, so you can have a hull upgrade and something else.
Yeah. Well, we've already got a card that does that.
True.
FFG have been very good at avoiding
Don't
duplicating
duplicates,
Dalai
yeah.
space. Yeah.
So we may not see that. I don't think they should give if they were to give a discount to Astromechs, it should say if your point cost is 3 or less. Like, I don't think R2 should be get.
Yeah, especially R2 if it then becomes like 2 points.
Then
It's
it
like,
becomes-
R2 is going on everything.
Then it becomes
Yes.
too good.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that Corrin with the R2 doesn't get any kind of boost.
Exactly.
Or maybe even, let's
Right.
say, those 1 or 2 point Astromechs become 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here comes.
Actually, no, the maneuver thing is terrible because you have R5P9 on Corrin and he'll shield every single round.
Yeah. So here comes the Glaive Squadron. So the TIE Advance prototype. I can't tell how many hits there are because of the reflections. Oh, 2 shields off.
And
Oh
crits.
God! What is the crit? Ow! What's the crit?
I
Can you
don't know.
Pop through and see what it is.
It's not enough to take it off the board, I know that much.
Yeah, still going.
Okay, I will quickly net through.
Yeah.
2 hits, well, okay, it's got something out of that.
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
And there goes the TIE Defender. 1 evade there already. Yeah. And then they remembered the range and the debris field.
Yeah.
So 1 shield. He's done some damage. Yes.
He's done something. I take that as a victory and walk away right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So would this be the point where if you were Michael, would you fly him off the board?
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Live to fight another day. Look, well, you know the old saying, discretion is the better part of valour, and cowardice is the better part of discretion.
Yes.
It
What's the
was,
result?
I believe it's the thrust control fire. It's the one where you put the stress on the.
Oh, so he's double stressed.
Double stressed.
Oh,
Oh, glorious.
Yeah, he's not.
Now he can't fly off the board.
Yeah, this isn't going to work.
It's not going to work.
Well, we can still do a 3 turn. It's just you don't ever see them do them because
Too fast and
yeah,
wide.
he's only really got 1 chance here, which is I predict whether that glaive is going to do a slow roll or whether he's going to do a K turn, block the K turn, or sort of get past.
Yeah, but then that's just delaying the inevitable there.
It is, but it lets him
Yeah.
clear the stress.
Or one of them.
Yes, but then if he doesn't get shot this turn, he can clear the next turn and keep running.
I personally think at this stage, you can't run away for 20 minutes away from defenders.
I don't think you can. No.
It's going to come down to a defeat in the end.
Yeah, but you can fight as hard as you can.
I don't think you can fight hard enough.
I think you might be right.
Look, we've had nearly 55 minutes, and one shield has been removed off.
I know.
Geoff's,
Yeah.
so.
These defenders are very, very powerful,
especially at defending.
I mean, I don't think they're too overpowered. I mean, it is very strong. I admit that. However, they have to move fast. They can't move slow, which is a restriction in itself.
Yes.
And also the K-10s, because they are so prolific and use so much, they can be predictable.
Yeah. Now here's a question though: if you'd have seen the defender with what they can do now 2 years ago, what would your reaction have been? Would they have been overpowered then?
Then yes.
Yeah.
Because things have progressed.
Game has moved on, and that's one of the problems with the X-wing. It just hasn't moved on in the same way that the game has.
Yeah. It's stayed stationary, as it were.
Exactly. An integrated aspect helped a little bit.
A little bit, but it's
it
not
doesn't
enough.
address the fundamental weakness. It makes it a little bit tougher. It doesn't address the fundamental weakness and the manoeuvrability, firepower. Yep. Right. So, okay. So that glaive isn't going to get a shot. He does get
The one. Okay, this is when Michael Magg wanted. Okay. Oh, no. Even that's a focus. Even that's a bleeding focus.
Evade, because he did a speed 3 maneuver.
No. He
rolled for damage.
Oh, I see. He did. Oh,
however,
didn't take damage.
he should indeed get the focus.
Yes.
Or the evasion.
However, it does mean Michael will survive at least one more turn.
Yeah, he will. That was, I think, a lucky break for him.
Yeah.
But it's no, just out.
Whew.
I think he's right now praying to the dice god, saying thank you for giving me that one last chance.
While cursing them for betraying him for the rest of the game as well.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it's the dice; it's been the manoeuvres.
It has been maneuvers.
Trying to get target locks, and he needs target locks with this list. For those bombers, and he needs range 1 for those TIE Adv prototypes, and just trying to get those against higher pilot skill ships that are fast.
Yes, he would get the evade, and it would matter if he was being attacked. However, he's not being attacked, so I think he either forgot or didn't put it on because it wasn't going to matter.
Make any difference.
Which, in this instance, probably the latter.
Yeah. So predicting a hard one turn to the right from that TIE Adv prototype, he's going to go ahead. He's no way he's going to escape being shot by all of those.
Question is 3 going to go over the asteroid again because of the way it's placed? I don't think it does.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's going to be all right.
Just made it. Yeah.
But the worst case scenario is potentially have a shot, lose one more shield, but
Yeah.
So if Vessery sort of banks towards the corner he's heading towards now, the number 3 Glaive Squadron does a straight manoeuvre. It kind of shuts Michael's last Baron into the corner.
Oh, is it you got the text?
No, it's not me. It might have been some sort of app-related thing that came through, but...
Okay. Right. So, here's a question for you. We've seen TIE defenders on the field so far today, and I think we can all agree that they are very good.
Yeah.
Possibly not overpowered, but they are certainly right up in the top tier. They are entirely competitive ships.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, Imperial Veterans didn't just come with a TIE defender.
Came with a bomber.
Absolutely. What do you think about the place of the bomber in today's competitive meta?
It's still not reached its point where it is entirely useful. Systems operators really done nothing for it. The mod which allows you to target lock at range.
Long range, you give it your guidance chips to do it. Long range scanners.
Exactly. The fact that it can't take both of those is highly detrimental to it. And then you can't target lock at close range, so there's a problem there. There's so much. You keep it in your... Why?
I lent it to someone and they decided not to use it today, so they gave it back to me. I just happen to have a long-range scanners sitting in my wallet.
And here was me thinking, you kept it in there, we're going to show it to me and see, I keep it in here to remind me how not useful these things are.
Yes, okay. Yeah, the way I see it is the TIE Defender got massive buffs, improvements as opposed to veterans.
Yes.
The TIE Bomber got different options. They just made it, gave you more choice, they didn't make it better.
Another report from the front lines.
Oh.
So Dean Forsham won 100 points to Seaman Stage's 28.
So Dean. Dean was flying double defender TIE Advanced prototype. The defenders do seem to be doing well today.
And it's an interesting thing as well, because it looks like...
I think it's the Mind Link.
Yeah, and Stephen was flying Darth Vader Inquisitor Palp, so triple aces.
And it looks like they're very close to the edge of the board here. Number 1 is literally just off screen. We can't see it.
So he's
He's still on board.
Yeah.
Clearly he wanted to try and get off.
And is now being pincered by those defenders. Oh dear.
I did say getting pincers might be its downfall here, but
yeah.
Okay, guys, we got 15 minutes to the end of the round. We better get what our potential candidates are up.
Yes. Okay. So, do we want to go? Are we going for the top table?
I think we shall see what we've got for top table, but let's select our list just in case.
Okay.
Best be prepared.
Yes. Now. So of all the really interesting lists, we've still got to see Denguri.
Denguri,
and we've still got to see Mindlink Madness. So if you guys want, if you're on the stream and if you're listening, do you want to see top tables? Option number 1. Do you want? Option. Do you want to see Mindlink Madness? 4 ships, all with Mindlink. Do you want to see Denguri, Dengar, and Guri? Top tables. So 2 ships die really fast. Yeah, I think you might be right.
And then you've got the question as well, actually, with the TIE Bomber. For not too many more points, you have the TIE Punisher.
Yeah, but even the
then
Punisher
has
is not what it
Has
is.
issues, yes.
But at least the Punisher then has some shields to deal with.
Yeah, Punisher's more of a bomber,
Yeah.
ironically.
Indeed.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Alright.
so what have we got?
James Bates killed 100% of Chelsea Fine's list. But
James was IGB, Forlom, Serisu, and Chelsea, we know what she was flying,
Chel-
Chewie and Miranda.
Chelsea did indeed get 80 points, however Chewbacca
pretty
apparently
close.
flew off.
Oh!
Which, that's the risk you've got to... Sometimes you
Yeah.
play the game, you kind of risk it saying, there's a chance I may go off, but I've got to play it.
And one of the earlier tournaments I went to, I had a fully loaded dash fly off the table from my opponent. Left my entire list facing 3 Z95s.
It happens.
It does happen.
I played a match and even off the first turn, somebody put a 3 hard in the wrong direction and flew off the board.
See, something like that, I'd say you obviously meant to go the other way.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I was going to sportsman it,
Well-
but it's like, no, I've done it.
if your opponent insists, fair enough. But I think something like that, you're here to play the game. You should give them an opportunity to do it the other way.
I kind of try not to weigh in on this because there's no right or wrong.
There is, I absolutely agree.
Yes,
There's
right.
no requirement to do it. You should never expect your opponent to do it.
Never
But
expect it.
In that situation, I would allow my opponent.
Never expect it, never ask for it. If your opponent
Exactly.
is nice enough, then maybe they will, but don't expect it.
Yeah, precisely. So yeah, but I think that's the good way to do it. Yeah, if I flew off the board, I would never ask for that. I would accept it. But at the same time, if my opponent did it, I would
you
offer
would
it.
accept it.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. It depends on the situation. And sometimes it's just the way it goes. So, for example, there's one game where I managed to turn the wrong way, luckily onto an asteroid rather than off the board. And I accepted it from my opponent because I was already winning. I think something like that might help them. But right at the first turn of the game, I'd offer my opponent that.
Michael just spent a focus token to survive on an attack volley from...
So he's still there.
He's still there.
With 1 hit point.
But I think we've still got the glaives to
can't
come.
last long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here comes
here we
glaive
go.
number 3. This is it, because no more tokens to modify. Poseidon evade.
1 crit.
Target lock.
Got
Yeah.
a target lock and a focus. Yeah.
If it gets 3 through, it's then looking for a perfect roll again. Here we go.
There we go. Well, he's got an evade token left. But that's
No.
not going to do it.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh dear. 100-0 drubbing, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's just bad match. It was that first turn. If he'd have got some of those prockets or some of those torpedoes off, he could have had a chance. And as it was, just trying to get target locks against higher pilot skill ships, fast high pilot skill ships, just is almost impossible.
I know, it's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. We have to make do with what we can. Right,
Indeed.
so we have the 3 options for the next round. We've got 11 minutes to decide. We'll